Hello and welcome to this edition of TMA's Farm Margin Talk. This is Devin Sherling, Grain Marketing Manager for TMA. Well, on this week's Farm Margin Talk, we're going to cover three different things. We're going to provide an update on our profitability. We're going to look at our harvest price for corn and soybeans, and then we're going to focus on locking in 2013 corn revenue for your operation. So as we look at the Farm Margin Index for October the 26th, 2012, you'll see that we're profitable in the 2013 and 2014 crop years for all commodities. But this week, the 13 crop year, wheat was the big leader, moving the board higher. And once again, this just shows you the micro numbers of how we come up with our Farm Margin Index based off of Groveland, Kansas new crop grain prices. So as we look at our crop insurance harvest price, you can see that we are 87% through the average, and the harvest price for soybeans is at $15.40, and for corn is at $7.51. Now remember that harvest price is calculated by taking the October average of the December futures for corn and the November futures for soybeans. So as you can see, we're getting awful close to knowing whether or not or what the size will be of our harvest payment on our crop insurance claims. So now we're going to focus on our 2013 crop year profitability. In this chart, what it shows you is the history of the crop insurance base price and the crop insurance harvest price from 1979 to today. And obviously we know that the harvest price for 2012 is not finalized, but I put that number in there at $7.51 as a close estimate. But as you can see with this chart, the black line represents where we closed today, and so very few times in the last since 1979 have we had an opportunity to start our revenue floor at these levels. So the question is, how do we take advantage of where we're at today? And producers in our territory are really using two different contracts to meet that need. The first contract is called a revenue lock contract. It allows a producer to use an averaging put option to guarantee a floor or minimum base price of $5.90. So how that works is if the February 1st through the February the 28th of 2013 average comes in below $6.35, the producer receives that back. If it comes in higher, the producer has unlimited upside from that perspective. So how it affects a dryland farmer is you take $5.90, which would be your minimum base price, times 80%, times 90, which would be your APH, would be able to lock in a minimum gross revenue of $424 an acre. And the irrigated producer, using the same formula and contract, to be able to lock in $849 an acre. So the revenue lock contract is a great contract for someone who doesn't want to have to worry about the emotions of making another decision and wants their crop insurance and grain marketing to all match up over the same time frame. The second option that producers are using is the forward floor contract. This is the old standby contract where we'd purchase a $6.35 put option, which would guarantee the producer a $5.67 minimum base price. So how that would look is, for the dryland farmer down here, he would be guaranteed $408 of minimum gross revenue, and for the irrigated farmer, he'd be able to lock in $816 an acre of gross revenue. So the real advantage to the forward floor contract is first, you have 9 more months of time that only cost you 23 cents a bushel of additional investment. And then secondly is you will be able to have more flexibility of moving that contract around throughout the entire growing season. So this just goes back and looks, I took the harvest price off of this graph and just showed the base price from 1979. And as you can see here, if you use that forward floor contract today, you would be right here where this blue line is. If you use the orange line, that would be the revenue lock contract at $5.90 futures. And then the black line once again just shows where we closed at today. So as you can see, we're at historically high places that we need to be able to make sure and know how these revenues will potentially impact your farm. And if you need help with that, feel free to contact one of our grain marketing or crop insurance specialists. So what's causing the market to move right now? Technically, with the November futures contract for soybeans coming off the market, we've seen some interesting moves the last couple days. Weather conditions in South America and Australia once again continue to question and change our world supply. And then the outside markets have really helped put a lid on our grain futures here this week. So for more additional information, contact one of our grain marketing or crop insurance specialists, and have a great weekend.